Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So we are in the midst of the second Halloween event of this year, and then today I'm going to talk about the limited time characters that are available now that can be maxed lucked. So yeah, let's start the video. We'll move from left to right, and then just finished all of the max lucks this morning, so I thought I would do the video now. Alright, so on the left here we have it's kind of the entry-level Jack, and that is Bootstrap Jack. And then to raise his luck, we just fuse in normal Jacks. I haven't hypermaxed him yet, but he's close, so I think we can imagine what he would turn out to be. Okay. And max luck, yay. Alrighty, so let's have a look at his stats and abilities. Alright, so we'll look at his stats first. He is a balance type, so his stats are, well, balanced, but actually not really. Like I just said, he's a kind of a starting max luck. And then of the three Jack max lucks for this Halloween event, this one's the easiest to make, and kind of has the lowest hurdles. So that's probably why he has the kind of the least, I guess, usefulness of the three Jacks. But his HP is good. It's about 22,000, almost 23. And yeah, that's fine for a drop monster. His attack is very, very low. It doesn't even hit 20,000. He does have a gauge shot, so that'll get him over 20,000, but yeah, pretty low. Can't really count on him to do good damage with direct attacks. And then his speed is pretty low as well. Maybe 300 is more close to average for a bounce monster, but yeah, under 300, not super great. And then his skill set, he has a no block, and then on the gauge, Dragon Slayer M. And then I'm a little baffled by this kind of design decision, because every other character in the history of the game, including the year ahead in the JP game, all of the characters have a no block on their gauge. And this significantly increases their usefulness and usability. If you saw my video about using the Hatcher monsters from the Herald Hatcher, you saw it was advantageous maybe half the time even to miss the gauge and then use the blocks as normal. So yeah, to have a character that has no block passive within the monster, it's kind of a strange choice, and it also limits his effectiveness. And then conversely, the Dragon Slayer, having that on the gauge, means that it will not go into his bump combo, which is too bad. And that's too bad because he has a very strong bump combo, actually. It's the Energy Circle M, which is the same power and size as Takayasha, who's agreed to be one of the very best max lucks out there, partly because of her bump combo. But yeah, Bootstrap has the double Energy Circle, the medium and the S, so he can hit characters that are very close to him as well, so yeah, that makes him pretty useful. And he has a bump combo critical, so that can raise the damage of his bump combo there. And that's probably mostly what you're going to be using him for, is for his bump combo. And then finally he has a tackle strike shot, which takes 20 turns, which is pretty long for a tackle strike shot. So, I don't know. On the one hand, he's unique and useful because he's the first no block max luck that we can get, I believe. And then later there will be a Water Colossal quest, where the boss is a dragon, and then there are some blocks in there. But, yeah, again, Bootstrap, his attack is so low, and then his strike shot is not so great, and then he has no block passive within him, which kind of limits his usability, that, I don't know. Once I get used to that Water Colossal quest, maybe I'll give this Bootstrap Jack a try in there. But otherwise, I'll just save him for probably no block quests. Alrighty, still happy to have him though. So yeah, that was Bootstrap Jack. And then next we will move on to the middle guy here. And yeah, Bootstrap is a wood element, and then this is Chainbound Jack. He is a light element. And then you also raise his luck by using the regular jacks that you pick up from the missions log. And then this one, this was a surprise to me, because the kind of the stats and then the abilities of this character are based on a limited time monster in the JP game. And then that monster is Doraemon, the kind of the zombie version of Doraemon, which was made in conjunction with a movie release. But yeah, he is the best limited time max luck probably in the game, and he is arguably the best max luck of just regular standard extreme drop monsters as well. So yeah, we'll have a look at kind of his English version here in Chainbound Jack. He is a balance type as well, but again, I would say his stats are pretty low. For an easily made max luck, I think that's fair. But yeah, HP is super low, not even 20,000. So you need to kind of think about the way you put your team together so that you have maybe hatcher monsters with more hit points to sort of raise your overall hit point count. And then attack is a little bit low-ish as well. He does have a gauge, so that can help him out, but not a whole lot. And then speed is decent for a Pierce type, but not super fast, just decent. But yeah, it's all of the stuff below that makes this Chainbound Jack very, very worth using. And that is his, he is a Pierce with flight and no gravity barrier. And then I believe he is the first drop monster. Yeah, he is the first drop monster with that kind of ability and then sling style set. And he was the first in the JP game as well when Doraemon came out. And yeah, this is a very, very versatile, very easy to use combination of abilities. With flight, of course, he can fly over mines. With no gravity barrier, of course, he doesn't need to worry about gravity barriers. And then with Pierce, that makes him very easy to position and then hit your other guys, and then also grab hearts. So yeah, very versatile. He can go to a lot of missions, and very good as a support character as well. And then his bump combo, which is very similar to Doraemon, is the Lock-On Pierce Wave 6. And this is very, very strong. It doesn't look like it on paper. You're probably all familiar with just the regular Lock-On Shockwave, and that doesn't do great damage unless you're right next to a boss's weak point or something. But yeah, try out this Lock-On Pierce Wave 6. It's very strong. It's also in Lucas Evolution, another max luck that I recommend. And yeah, I think I said that in the video that I used him in. But this Lock-On Pierce Wave does not go towards the nearest monster. It goes towards the monster with the lowest percent of hit points. And so that could mean a monster on the other side of the field. And then since the bump combo is Pierce, it'll go all the way and then hit everybody on the way there. So yeah, it can have a very long range and also does a very good amount of damage. So yeah, that's one of the best reasons to use this character is for the bump combo. And oh yeah, because it goes towards the enemy with the lowest percentage of hit points, the chances of it going into a shield or a drone are very low, because those usually have either full hit points or they're gone because you broke them, but yeah. And then finally, he's got a 30-turn Meteor Strike Shot. And this is pretty amazing for him because he is a Pierce type, and then he has no gravity barrier, so he won't be slowed down. I haven't tested him out yet in the real world, so I don't know about the strength of the meteor. I'm guessing it's not going to be as high as like Zeus or something. If it's as high as like Gigamantis, that's great. If it's as low as like Marie Antoinette Evolution, that's a bummer. But I think it's somewhere in between, so that's more than enough. And then this meteor, you can't really rely on it to do great damage to the boss, but use it in the mindset of clearing a field of little guys. And so actually this type of character is one of my very favorite. The null gravity barrier with a meteor strike shot, either pierce or bounce. Specifically because I love that combination in floor 30 of the Tower of Champions and floor 35, and then also Muramasa and Murasame. I think that's everything. Yeah, those 4 quests in particular, I really, really like pierce, no gravity barrier with a meteor strike shot, because it comes in very, very handy, especially towards the end of the missions. So yeah, this guy is going to see a lot of use from me, maybe even in the Tower of Champions. And yeah, to be honest, this guy, I am kind of comparing him to Bishamonten in my mind, because that's another pierce no gravity barrier with the meteor strike shot. And so they may even jockey for the same position on my team for those missions. Additionally, because they are both max lux as well. Jack here, he may actually win out, because I feel like his flight, which deals with the mines, is a little bit more useful to me than the null warp in Bishamonten. I'm a little bit shocked that I would prefer this, limited time drop monster to an impossible max luck, but that's what it might come to. And then, yeah, just to talk more broadly, this guy has very good impossible mission viability. Specifically Tsukuyomi and then Akala. Tsukuyomi because he's light element, so he gets that element advantage. And then Pierce is great for that mission. So is the bump combo, the lock-on Pierce wave. And then the meteor strike shot, it's not super useful since you're going to take down the little guys every turn anyway, but it can do a little extra damage to the boss, so that's nice. And then he's usable in Akala as well, because he perfectly addresses the gimmicks, the mines and the gravity barriers. I would be a little bit hesitant to use him because he is a Pierce, and I prefer bounce monsters for that quest, because there is a chance for the match shot. But if it's your style to use Pierce monsters in Akala, then Chainbound Jack would be right up your alley. Okay, so yeah, very, very pleased to have this guy. He is now automatically the #1 limited drop monster in our English version game, and he's going to be #1 or 2 for just all extreme drop monster max lux in all. Him and Queen Butterflight are neck and neck, I would say. Okay, so Chainbound Jack. If you make only 1 max luck, make it this guy for sure. Okay, so that leaves the last one. Chainbound is light element, and then finally here on the end we got the dark element. And then this is, what's his name? Rip and Reaper Jack. And then we raise this guy's luck by fusing heralds into it, which is a little bit unique, but it's cool because that means we don't need more of those little jacks. And then I really, really like the design of this guy. I think he looks the coolest of the 3. But I have one little complaint, and that is he is wearing suspenders and a belt at the same time. And you really don't need to do that. It just makes you look insecure. They both serve the same purpose, you know, of keeping your pants up. So one is fine, so I don't know what this guy's doing. He looks like he's full of self-confidence. But anyway, let's look at his stats. HP is decent, attack is average, and then speed is actually slow for a Pierce type. So yeah, he'll take a little bit of thought to use. And then he's got the ability set of Pierce with a Null Warp, and then he's got Recovery S on the gauge. And then as for other Dark Element Pierce Null Warps that are drop monsters, there are very few right now. There is Tsukuyomi, of course, but she is an impossible monster. And then there is Malonhead, who was a limited time monster from the Halloween event. And yeah, if you missed him, then maybe you'll get a chance next year, but it's not going to be anytime soon. And so yeah, I would definitely pick up this Jack here, just because a Dark Element Pierce Null Warp is very good and very usable. And then on the gauge he has Recovery S, And then typically, when a drop monster, extreme drop monster, sorry, when an extreme drop monster has recovery S on the gauge, it's a very fast gauge. Other examples are like Takayasha Evolution or Odoga Ascension. But for whatever reason, this Rip and Reaper Jack, his recovery S gauge is as fast as just a typical extreme drop monster gauge, which is awesome. It's awesome for me especially because I don't like gauge shots in general, and then I dislike the recovery S gauge shot so much that I don't even use those characters. But this guy having the standard speed gauge shot will make him very usable. And actually, this guy is so good, he would be usable even without the recovery S, and so I would use him, just miss his gauge every turn and not worry about it. But since his gauge is slower, then he'll be very usable, even for beginners, so that's awesome. And then recovery S, you need to hit all of your guys, and then you'll restore like maybe 18-20% of your HP gauge, which isn't a lot, and you probably shouldn't go out of your way to get it, but if you can get it, then it's a nice little boost. And then his bump combo is, I think it'll be fun. It's the Horizon Laser, goes left and right, and then a lot of people say that this is difficult to use, but I think it's just because we're not used to it, because we don't have a lot of characters with Horizon Laser. But actually this Jack, he's going to be pretty easy to position for that Horizon Laser. One, because he is a Pierce, and then two, because his speed is so slow. It should be very easy to position him. And then the Horizon Laser L, it has a greater attack power than a vertical laser L. And that is because it covers less of the screen, since the screen is a little bit narrower side to side than it is top to bottom. So it does pretty good damage, and it's actually almost as close as a Power Type's one-way laser. So that's very strong, actually. And then, yeah, the fact that he has another sub-bump combo with the Horizon Laser increases that attack a little bit more as well. So yeah, good damage output there, and actually more than Takayasha if you can get the positioning right. But yeah, very cool. And then probably there are lots of things that are great about Reaper Jack, but maybe the number one good thing about him is his strike shot. And that is his null everything strike shot. So when he uses it, he ignores mines, gravity barriers, warps, and damage walls. And then also his speed and attack go up. And so yeah, one big problem about drop monsters is that they just don't do as much damage as like impossible monsters or hatcher monsters. But this Rip and Reaper Jack, with his strike shot, he addresses that problem. And actually this strike shot, well, I haven't tested it yet, but if it's as strong as I think it is, it'll be strong enough to be a finisher for some stages. So yeah, he's pretty crazy. The fact that he's got the recovery for support, and then the Horizon Laser for you know, bump combo damage every turn, and then sort of the kind of the ultimate strike shot as the finisher makes this guy really, really good. He's almost like impossible drop monster usefulness. He's almost hatcher monster usefulness. I think if you raised this guy's stats a little bit, and then you replaced his recovery S with just regular recovery, you can make him a hatcher monster and nobody would complain. He's really, really good. So yeah, I'm very excited about all three of these characters. Bootstrap, he was kind of just like a novelty max luck, but the other two will be very strong and then very versatile in a lot of missions. So yeah, I'm pretty grateful for these characters, and it didn't take a whole lot of work to make either. So if you're on the fence about making them, go ahead and do that. You still got like 9-10 days, so yeah. And yeah, I'll be maybe I'll make some videos later where I test the strength of Chainbound's Meteor, and then the Reaper Jack's null everything shot. Alrighty, thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Take care.